What up, everybody? Ian here. Before we get into the episode, I want to tell you about some cool shows happening this week down on the 412. You've Got a Friend in Pennsylvania Shows and Media presents The Sonderbombs with Space Buns Forever, Baseball Dad, and Jimmy Mayo, Monday the 19th at Cafe Verona. On March 24th, head to the stage at Karma to the Pay It Forward Festival, a charity event for a little girl who's battling her second bout of cancer. All the money from the ticket sales are going directly to the cost of that, and it is one stacked bill. The headliner is still to be announced, but we got Outcasts from Kentucky, and then locals in Providence, Greywalker, 156 Silence, Hymnless, Nullity, Aeroseathorn, Bury Thy Kingdom. It's going to be one great night full of metal. $15 at the door. If you're a fan of metal, or even if you're not, go make a difference. There's going to be a GoFundMe, so if you can't make the show, donate to that. But it's a great cause, and I'll be there, so check it. A couple of days later, on Monday, March 26th, good friends of mine, Punch Drunk Tagalongs from Cleveland, are rolling through town. They're going to be playing new songs off their forthcoming album, Hazy. Definitely check out this gig. It's happening at the Bushnell with Jowska from New York City, Distant Futures from Pittsburgh, of course, Pro Video and Alvin Rowe. Doors are at 7, and it costs $5 to $7 donation. Come support some great bands, and I'll be there, so come high-five me. And New York friends, don't forget the next Sweet Static gig that's happening. It's Saturday, March 24th. It's a charity benefit for Every Town for Gun Safety, an organization that works with mayors, average Joes, teachers, students to support and to grow gun awareness in small towns and cities across America. Playing that gig is going to be Big Bliss, Logan X, Bizarre Sharks, and Headless Elvis. Doors are at 8, music starts at 9, it's a $5 admission, it's at Pet Rescue in Brooklyn. It's going to be a great time, I wish I was there. Now, let's get to business, let's start the show.
No static, no static, no static at all, no static at all.
Hi, hello, welcome friends to No Static at All, the podcast where we talk about the best music you haven't heard yet. It is Friday, March 16th. Happy birthday, Dilly K! And happy St. Patty's Day to whoever celebrates that tomorrow. I am your host, Ian Compton, and welcome to my show. We are powered by SweetStatic.com and the Earthwalk Collective. Welcome back for episode 4, and what a doozy of an episode we have. In this episode, I sit down with DIY all-star Haley Butters of ABSINTHE, based out of Columbus, Ohio. In this interview, we talk about their house show venue, Middle Earth, they run, and some drama that happened there this past year. We also talk about their forthcoming LP and the latest split EP they released with Ness Lake. It was a really nice, mellow interview, and one that I think shook some anxiety out of the night for both Haley and myself. I'm really looking forward for y'all hearing that one. But before I get into that, let's talk about some music. First up is experimental noise rockers from East Hampton, Mass., Tundrastomper, with their newest EP, Clean It Up. Released March 2nd of this year, it goes by fast being only 4 tracks, but man, it's like the whole time you're on the highway and everybody's just wrecking into each other. But in the best way possible. These guys are explosive, they're all over the place with their writing, their guitar writing, and the bass is all over the place, the drumming is insane. You could tell that these guys are 4 childhood friends. They're just tight. I mean, yeah, they're spectacular musicians, but like you get this tight by just knowing each other. It's different, it's cosmic. And lyrically, they're hilarious. Like, take for example the first track off the album, Sweet Baby Boy. It's just about their minivan and how much they love it. And all the while, the music is chaotic and insane. Check it out.
I'm on top of the roof with my sweet baby boy, my sweet baby boy, my sweet baby boy. Minivan, do what you do, take me.
You know, at only 4 tracks, it goes by fast, but man, it leaves you wanting more. And luckily, they have 2 other albums out, so if you're like me and you want to hear more, it's out there. But before you do that, I highly suggest checking out the song Four Flies. Such a dirty rock and roll song. It's all over the place, and it's still hilarious. The dude's screaming about a fly getting out of his scrambled eggs.
I would not ask you to leave entirely. I would only ask that you stay in the area clearly marked 4 flies only.
Again, go give Tundrastomper a like and go check out their music. If you're a fan of their time signatures and intense songwriting, kind of like a little Mars Volta, a little Modest Mouse, a little Parquet Courts. You're going to be into this album. But next up, we're driving across America and going to Portland, Oregon to check out Cool American's newest EP or album, Better Luck Next Year Volume 3. It was released February 16th this year. Hanging out in the lo-fi bedroom pop realm, this is a great album to cruise around in summer nights or possibly your soundtrack to your drunk walk home one party this summer. If you're a fan of Elliott Smith or Porches, you're probably going to love this EP. Take for example the first track, 17, has a real nice groove and a nice lead guitar line. The kind of groove that honestly you could just vibe all day to. It's real low-key, real mellow. I really like it, and it builds nicely. Definitely has a big Elliott Smith vibe, and enjoy.
Cash the check from the backseat on your shattered touch screen. The four figures still pristine, and we were good to go.
Now let's jump to the last track on the album, Focus, with his programmed drums and his falsettoed auto-tune vocals. This is that Porches vibe I was talking about, and it's cool. I like it. This is definitely going to be an album I'm going to play during the summer. Take a listen.
Can't focus on a single face. So baby, take the back street. We shouldn't do this anyway. Can't rattle.
If you like what you heard, Cool American has a bunch more albums you can listen to. Go like them on Facebook and listen to their albums. I love it, and I hope you do too. Next, I'd like to talk about probably one of my favorite releases of this year, and there's a good chance it'll be a contender for the top 10 I like to do at the end of the year. But that's Hovvdy's Cranberry, released February 9th on Double Double Whammy Records, and it's 12 tracks of some of the best lo-fi bedroom pop, slowcore Americana mix that I've heard in a while. And believe it or not, I've been hearing that mix a little bit lately. You a fan of Alex G's Rocket last year? La Malta? It's out there, this vibe, and Hovvdy is killing it with it. For example, In the Sun has a real nice twangy vibes, real nostalgic. Like Light Through a Shade, honestly. Like Light Through a Shade. It's catchy, it's slow, it's headphone music. I love it. I know I'm geeking out, but just go ahead and listen to a little bit of In the Sun. Super good, right? And it only gets better from there. I mean, it dips a little bit with Through. It's probably my least favorite track on the album. But then you have Pedal, which is just crushes it as far as songs go for me. Take a listen.
Talk with old friends like I need to. We look up, feel tired, just smile. 'Cause it's last.
And then you have Cranberry, which takes it back a little bit, and then Late, which just gets totally fuzzed out, and you get kind of like a Sparkle Horse vibe, make you feel happy and sad at the same time. You get a nice instrumental track with Tub, and then Float and Truck are great songs. Quitter's a great song. I can go on, but you really just have to listen to the album for yourself. It excels in its simplicity, in its subtleness. With each listen, I find more in all these songs, so I highly suggest you listen to it. And for real, if you like what you heard, go like Hovvdy. Go listen to their music. I can't recommend it more. If you're a fan of Alex G, Bedhead, Red House Painter, Sparkle Horse, or any kind of like lo-fi slowcore, you're going to be into this album. And last but not least, I'm talking about Bogues from Nashville, Tennessee. A solo act, very reminiscent to Julian Baker or other emo acts like Dashboard Confessional, Koji, and Turnover and so forth. They just released their newest EP, Life Slowly, on March 2nd, and it's 5 of the most beautiful and heart-wrenching songs I've heard all year. Take, for example, the second track off the EP, Finger Lakes and the End of Things. Really nice ambient guitar layered song that just builds and builds until the chorus, where I believe he's screaming, "They said you're nothing," in that midnight car ride back home. They said you're nothing, I'm freak out because I'm stoned, which is just great. And I totally want to sing along to it at a show, and you should just listen to it.
They said you're nothing, midnight car ride back home. They said you're nothing, freak out 'cause I got stoned. I know I complicated things, I know.
You know, and the rest of the EP is just as sing-alongable and as memorable and as catchy. Take, for example, the more acoustic, bouncy Unpacking Boxes. Has a line in it, "You were tucked in a frame and waiting for a seasonal change," which just hits me home for some reason that I'll keep to myself, but I really love that line. It has some really nice ooze in it, and this guy knows what he's doing. He's writing some really cool songs.
I'm not at home in my brain, only a visitor on the couch, nervous to ask for a drink. I can't stop thinking of what you would say, a second opinion.
If you like what you heard and you're a fan of it, go like Bogues online and get and listen to him. He has another couple albums. Real nice emo singer-songwriter stuff from down south. But that's all I have for new music. I hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you didn't, you know what? That's okay, because that's what music is. It's different for everybody. It's beautiful. It's unique. It's individual. And at the same time, it's not. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to be enjoyed with a community, singing and playing with others, which leads for wonderful and beautiful relationships to blossom and meeting beautiful, incredible, unique people you never thought you'd meet before. This music community that we have is wonderful, and I'm so grateful for it. Because of it, I met Haley Butters of ABSINTHE. I met Haley through my friend Nick Bloom, who I met because I play in String Machine, which I played String Machine because I played music before, and that's how I met David and everyone in that. And we all met each other through music, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm so pumped for what Haley's doing over in Columbus at Middle Earth, the house venue that they run with their roommates, as well as their project ABSINTHE. If you're into dream pop, shoegazy stuff, lo-fi bedroom pop, it is so good. I had the chance to play with Haley, as well as with Nick Bloom and my friend David and Nikki T at Columbus at Trap Basement. That was just a great night of just passing the guitar around and just playing music with all my best buds. It was really cool. Well, a couple months ago, Haley came back to Pittsburgh and played a show at War of 1812 with Devin Goods, which we've heard that interview already, the first episode, Jimmy Mayo, and Distant Futures. Nick Bloom's the bassist in that band. Haley captivated the crowd and played one heck of a set. And this conversation, I think, was some nice medicine for the both of us to get through the night, because I also wasn't in the best headspace that night, but it all gets better, and I think the best way to find out is just listening. So enjoy the interview. I'll catch you afterwards. But enjoy this interview I had with Haley Butters at the War of 1812 house. At the War of 1812 house. How's it going? How long does it take to get to from Columbus to Pittsburgh? Like 4 hours?
It's like three.
Three?
3 and change usually, but
3 and change.
yeah, I had to pick up Cynthia, who was nice enough to drive with me because I'm really bad at driving alone.
Is she in Columbus too? Or?
Yeah, she works for a booking company in Columbus called Bravo Artist.
Bravo Artist.
Oh yes.
They do a lot of booking?
They do. They're like Columbus is really weird. Like the whole entire scene is dominated by Bravo Artists, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They do a really great job, and they, get really good bills together, but it's not very diverse. Just frustrating, which is why, I've always been involved in DIY. I'm a queer person of color. I'm not, I don't exist for stadium shows. I have to build my own scene. So
Right.
that's, how I got started, and Columbus is kind of strange because unless like your dude's band is playing, you're not gonna go to a show.
Yeah.
So, but no, she does really good work down there, and people at Bravo, they're doing good.
They're doing good. Are you still booking like at Middle Earth and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, which is a blessing, and sometimes a curse, but it's really nice.
Is that the same house that you had all that those problems with theft and stuff?
So, well, yes and no. I can't remember how long ago.
I was following this like
both
story.
houses have been stolen from. So the first house I ran in Columbus was the house with no name, which was pretty big. I don't think I knew you.
No, but my
When-
friend Abe, who plays washboard in the Doom Gospel with me, knows
Yes, okay.
that house and stuff.
Yeah, so I was there for a good long time, and then decided to shut that house down. It wasn't very conducive environment for me in regards to like my roommate, but moved in with the best roommates of all time.
Yeah.
In the best band of all time.
Who's the band?
Queer Kevin.
Queer Kevin.
What's up? I'm wearing the shirt.
Oh, Queer Kevin! I love the artwork.
Yeah, Felix did it. So Felix is my roommate, and they play bass, and I don't understand how they're that good at anything, but they're good at everything, and it's wild. But yeah, so I moved in with them, and they were previously living with another person, and that person, like, they'd been friends with for a while, and so they were like, hey, just come on into this house as well. So it was me, Felix and Dylan, and then this person, and then we have another roommate named Philip, who's really cool, but doesn't do anything music related. No,
It's just
but which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
'cause-
Oh, it definitely is.
yeah, well, I mean, we have like 10 instruments going at a time sometimes, and they're just in their little corner, just, having fun. But, yeah, this other person ended up stealing, like, probably $3,000 worth of stuff out of our home.
I know. I saw all that shit, and I was like, I would fucking stop too, because you guys
Yeah.
stopped putting on shows for a while.
We stopped. We thought it was, like, show-related, which was really frustrating because, I mean, sometimes it's an accident. I've had someone accidentally grab one of my cases because my hard case looks exactly like their hard case, and their bandmate grabbed theirs, and they didn't know that, and so they grabbed this one also, and then I'll get a Facebook message, hey, I have a guitar that's not mine. So that happened once. So we were kind of attributing all the theft to shows, but then we realized that it wasn't shows. Felix and Dylan went to the record store by our house, just, browsing, and they found, like, a bunch of records that were theirs and mine, and we're like, hey, we didn't bring these here. Where'd you get these? And the shop owner described our other roommate, like, to a T, and so we had to sit down, and it was a really awkward conversation. But they were like, yeah, I just was cleaning up the basement and saw these and donated them. And we were like, okay, well, are you the reason that our gear has gone missing too? And they said, no.
Okay.
So it's like, at that point, we're like, what do we do? Do we, like, trust this person? Like, I, from the very, very beginning, didn't trust this person. I found out after I had already kind of had the thought that they were on drugs, that they had moved to Ohio from Florida. They went to rehab.
Down in Florida?
In Florida, and they moved to Ohio
Okay.
after they got out of rehab, moved in with Felix and Dylan, and, like, a couple years go by, and they're still in Ohio. And so I kind of had the suspicion that maybe that was still happening. Addiction kind of runs in my family. Like,
Same.
I'm 6 months sober,
Woo!
a little over, which is tight.
Nice.
And, like, I know what it looks like. Like, my cousin who had, I don't know, it's just, I know what it looks like. So
You know when someone's nodding
Yeah.
off and stuff. It's not
Yeah.
normal tired and stuff. Yeah, I've
right.
dealt with it too.
Well, and that's the tired is so funny you bring that up because they were like, yeah, I just have insomnia. And I'm like, okay, I've had insomnia since I was 16.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, this is not what my insomnia looks like, but everybody's mental illness and
everyone
mental
goes
health
through
looks
stuff
different.
differently.
So I wanted to be really considerate of that and, like, careful. I mean, that's a really heavy accusation to make, and I'm not trying to, like, make anyone feel uncomfortable in their own home, but at this point they were making me feel uncomfortable in my own home. So a couple weeks go by, and our friend had left an instrument at our house, came back to get it, and it wasn't there, and we're like, oh shit. Like, it's one thing when it happens to you, and it sucks
Yeah.
a lot, but it's another thing when it happens to someone that you care about, and watching them have to go through it too is just a huge just stab in the heart. So
I remember when David Beck and Nikki T got their guitars stolen. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm uploading every song I have. I don't care. Let's make money.
All of the money goes to that. Yeah, like I don't know. Even when I'm poor as shit, I'm always gonna try to help my friends out before me, because they do the same for me.
Yep.
But anyway,
Thank God for friends.
Yeah. We had been checking like Guitar Center and Sam Ash and pawn shops and like stuff like that. And then our friend went to this place called Hippie Hut. And it's like, I don't know if you know what waterbeds and stuff is.
Oh, my grandma Pap had a waterbed.
So like, well, a waterbeds and stuff is a store, and they sell like
Oh.
waterbeds and like
No, I've
things
never
made
heard
of
of a
hemp
water-
and like drug rugs, like the poncho
Oh,
things.
burkas. I have a burka. It's the warmest thing I have. I got it in
so
Arizona.
warm.
I bought it on my band trip in senior high at Arizona, thinking it was a good deal. It was warm. I come back to Butler, and it's the drug rug. Go on.
It's the drug rug. Yeah, it's like, oh, that person listens to Fish. Anyway.
I don't listen to Fish.
Hey, I saw Fish 3 nights in a row last summer.
In New
It was
York?
Sick. No. Twice in Wrigley.
they do the donuts?
Field, and then once in, somewhere at Noblesville, Indiana. It was the third night. It was sick. I'm not gonna lie.
I worked with a dude in New York who loved Fish. Every night he'd be like, dude, just listen to this one.
Fish is not that bad.
No, they're not bad. I don't listen to them enough to have the definition of drug rug.
Anyway, yes.
Anyway, we got off topic.
This place sells like drug rugs and shit.
Okay,
And
water
like
beds and
tapestries. But it's called Hippie Hut, and it's like locally owned. The owner is super nice. They always have a dog in there. It's like a service dog. It's like one of those
You
places.
know what kind of dog?
I think it was a golden retriever. I can't remember. It was really cute.
I love dogs.
Really dirty, but like really cute.
Oh,
Yeah, true. So we go in. They found their instrument. It was a baritone ukulele in Hippie Hut. And they were like, yo, you should probably go down and look at this place. It's like a couple miles away from our house. We just didn't think of that place as an instrument store.
Yeah.
So we never checked it out. Walk in. A bass that I built. Two of my amps. Felix, like everything. Imagine walking into a place and having like 75 to 80% of the things be yours.
I got anger in me. And
Yeah.
the people just gave back your friend's
No.
ukulele?
No.
Oh.
So we had to buy it back. Yeah. Felix actually bought their ukulele back for them because both Felix and I have an incredible guilt complex, and we just felt really bad because it happened in our home, under our nose. It makes you feel really stupid and just inadequate and not, like, I don't know. To have it stolen right under our noses is really shitty. But,
Yeah. I
so,
don't know. I get it with having a family member who has been on heroin and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you let things go, or sometimes things just slide. Life gets busy, you know?
yeah, and
Not
I
to
don't
make
know.
excuses for
no,
that
we
behavior.
confronted our roommate, and we were like, well, we talked to the owner at Hippie Hut, and we were like, yo, all of this is ours. We don't want the shit that's not ours. We just want our stuff. And half of the things, like, we couldn't prove were ours. Like, the bass I built doesn't have a serial number on it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Japanese hollow body from, like, the 60s, doesn't have a serial number on it. I didn't take serial numbers for my amps, because they're, like, PB chorus line amps that you can pick up for, like, $100, which is a lot. Like, $100 isn't no money, but in the realm of gear, it's not necessarily the most expensive thing, so I wasn't thinking to take down serial numbers, and so we couldn't report it to the police. Couldn't prove it was ours, and so we just talked to the guy. We were like, hey, this is our stuff. We're not trying to, like, fuck you over. You're a local business. Like, we don't want you to have to pay money out of your own pocket for something that you had no control over. We just want to see if, like, you might want to, like, I don't know, give us a deal. Be nice.
Yeah.
And he ended up going, like, about 60% of the asking price. So, like, I bought my bass back for, like, $100. I bought...
That was the bass you built, though, right?
They put a DIY custom label on it. I was like, literally the pick guard doesn't even fit, and the pickups are sticking out of it. But okay, I'll go with it.
Yours.
There's like 3 dead frets on it. Like,
Still, it's
okay.
yours. You built it.
Yeah, it was the first thing I ever built, so it's frustrating, but it was just funny that it was like priced way, way, way too high. But yeah, he ended up giving us a really good deal, and I bought back, I think, most of my stuff. But Felix saw their first guitar that they ever played get sold right in front of them before we could talk to the owner, which is like heartbreaking to hear. But they play bass, and I don't know, apparently the 2 girls that were buying the guitar were super excited, so they were just like, fuck it, like, it's fine. But so that all happened, and we had the discussion with my roommate, and we were like, yo, we know you took this, because they use their ID to sell the stuff, so we kind of caught them red-handed, unfortunately. And
It makes you wonder, like, how people don't think.
well, it makes me wonder how someone can look me in the face and be like, oh, we're gonna find your stuff, like, we're gonna help you, and then they're the person that's like causing me all the pain. Like me while I'm crying in the corner, Felix while they're screaming and yelling about how we don't have the things that we need to make the art that makes us not want to fucking kill ourselves. To be able to look someone in the face and be like, I know I'm causing you this pain, and I am still gonna lie straight to your face about it. That was the most hurtful part.
Are they using still?
I think so. I hate to say that. I think so, but there was no way to prove it.
Things, yeah.
And I also, like, we were kind of faced with the decision, like, okay, we can either kick this person out onto the street, and if they are using, it's just going to get worse, and something terrible can happen. Or, I mean, my offer was, like, if you are using, I will help you. Like, I will get you into a program, like, we can figure this out. It's not irreparable. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't believe that any human being, no matter how much they fuck me over, is irredeemable. Like, there's always something that you can do to, like, I don't know, make things better. Not
forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like that thing that all those people with that C word, I'm not gonna say, but you know what I'm talking about. Their God's all full of forgiveness, but they don't practice it.
Yeah.
But in reality, human beings should forgive each other.
Yeah, and I think that, like, I want to say that I'm a good person, but I think that 90% of it is just being a self-serving motherfucker who just doesn't want a death on their hands.
If you look at it long enough, I've done that to you.
Maybe it's a good mix of both, but, like, I could never personally turn away a human being for making a mistake.
So do you live with it?
The worst part about it is, like, we have a lot of gear. Like, a lot, unfortunately. I wish I had less. I've been trying to get rid of, like, most of my instruments, especially because I just picked up the 2 most perfect guitars, and I'll never buy another guitar again. Yay. I say, as I look at Abernethy's for $2,000 on Reverb every day.
What were the 2 guitars you got?
I got an Ibanez Talman. It's like a 95. It's cream with a red pearl pickguard, and it is beautiful. And then I got a Thin Line Telly, which is really nice. I brought them both. You'll see them tonight.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, we have way too much stuff. So the weirdest thing is that they had to know what we do and don't use. Because in the basement we have, like, we kind of gear share. Like, we all play similar instruments. Like, we all kind of mess around with other instruments. And we have our setup. And, like, there are other things pushed behind in, like, the corner that we don't really use, and that's where they got all the shit from. So we didn't notice sometimes for, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks when I'm like, oh, I wonder where my stereo chorus is. That's brutal. It's gone. Sick.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I don't know. These are the moments that you can either, like, let define you as a person or just, like, move past it. And I don't want to be known as someone who got all their shit stolen from them.
Yeah. Hey, 2017 sucked, but 2018 sounds nice.
2018 is going to be good.
I think so.
released a split on the first day of
Yes,
this
let's
year.
talk music. No more bummer stuff.
No more bad things. Music is good. I'm in a really interesting place where all of the music that I'm writing is some like they're songs I'm really proud of that I haven't released yet, which is really cool.
They're recorded.
I'm recording right now. I'm recording an EP. I'm really excited about it.
How you doing it?
I'm actually being recorded. I have friends at Daily Grind Productions in Columbus who are incredible. They're really, really good. It's interesting because most of the things they record are like black metal and things like that. And
That's
then there's
hilarious.
it's really funny. And then there's me, and they're like so passionate about the things that I'm creating. I'm like, I did not think you were gonna like this. Just me just strumming a guitar, singing very softly. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun, I think, for them because it keeps them fresh and like doing something new and different. And they're pushing me to do different things. Like, it's really nice. It's a very, very welcoming environment.
It's awesome.
But the split was recorded by me and Chandler from Nest Lake, who's on the other side of the split, and we did 2 originals, and then we covered one of the other person's songs,
I noticed that, yeah.
which was really fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
Were you guys talking to each other and stuff while you were like figuring out your cover? Was it
I had
like
no idea what Chandler was gonna do with, he covered Burnt Sienna, which is like off of the like this one EP that I put up on Bandcamp, and the only
released
reason
that on 420, right?
I did release it on 420. At 420 on 420.
At 420
I
on
believe.
420,
I'm
yes.
so annoying.
No, it's not annoying enough.
I was trying to drop it at 420 for this split also, but it ended up being at 609. 69.
Hey, it works.
No, I had no idea what he was going to do with Brent and Sienna, and it sounds so different and so weird and so cool, and it kind of inspired me for a lot of the stuff coming up on the new EP, which is cool. Be a lot of sampling,
Ooh.
a lot of anime.
Anime, nice.
Which is, it's fun, but Chandler's one of my biggest like songwriting inspirations, so to do something with him is really gratifying.
How long have you known each other?
Not long. June. And it's the way we met. So Chandler was in another band, and I put together a show for them and another band called Dogleg, who this is the year of Dogleg.
Yeah.
If Dogleg doesn't blow up this year, I'm quitting music.
You heard it here.
I swear.
I've heard of them. I haven't listened to them, but
The 3 most amazing human beings in the entire world. I'm obsessed with them, and yeah.
were they from Ohio or Michigan?
They're from Michigan. They're from Detroit, and they're really, 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 really good. And
Oh, I'm gonna listen to him. I got an hour ride north.
I
after
only
this.
listen to Dogleg on the way here. 3 hours worth of Dogleg. They don't even have 3 hours worth of songs. Anyway, it was Chandler's old band, Dogleg, and Equipment, who are from Toledo. And it was at that house, Brooks's house, that I had to use in the interim between houses, because I was in an apartment. And the cops came twice, I think. It was either 3 times or twice, and they shut the whole entire show down, and so we ended up just passing an acoustic guitar around the circle.
Trap
It
basement,
was,
right?
yeah, Trap Basement.
Yeah!
It was
You took-
the best show ever, and I'd never met any of them, and Parker is the drummer for Dogleg, and he was like, I don't know how to play guitar, but I know how to play this one song by Born Without Bones, and I just looked at him and I was like, is it Baby? And we ended up doing it, we covered it together, had no idea what each other were gonna sound like. I'm about to pull up this video. Michigan, you're in Arbor.
I have one story from Kalamazoo. It was my old band when I was in high school. You ever hear the campfire sessions?
Baby?
It was these twin brothers. They're I don't know. If I ever search twins Kalamazoo, they come up on YouTube. I hate them because it was this scheme. It was this scheme to just take money from bands. It was like this. We're gonna do a 3-day tour for you guys. You have to sell all this stuff. We went and just played.
Pay to play.
Pay to play.
I'm
Young
getting
and dumb.
PAY, the number 2, play Nucktats.
Oh,
Let's go.
My friend Dennis, Infected by Dummies, the artist, he has a nut. He wants to get Dummy Daddy. Would that be amazing?
That's good. That's really good.
I think at 68, you want to look down at your hands, and be like, I am Dummy
Daddy.
But the campfire sessions were just this horrible thing that I experienced young in my music career. And they were from Kalamazoo. That's my only experience with Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo's good. There are some really good people in Kalamazoo. Amanda Barkman is amazing. It's really fun because Kalamazoo is pretty inclusive. Columbus isn't. Yeah. I mean, cities are all pretty bad at including people of color, especially also queer people, even though like queer people and like non-men are becoming more of a staple in the DIY community. They're still really excommunicated from like actual venue shows, which sucks. And it depends on the city. Like Philly's really good for things like that, but Philly's still really bad about including people of color.
Yeah, I haven't played Philly yet.
Yeah.
I'm recently back to the scene.
Yeah, but Amanda Barkman is a queer person of color, and they are amazing, and I'm obsessed with them. And then like Will Moss, there's a few really good people up there, which is nice.
Where's Greet Death from?
Greet Death is from like, not really Detroit, but they're billed from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
What's good?
That album was good.
That's the best album of 2017. I don't think
It's a good album.
It's really good.
When my friend David Beck told me that he turned down that show with World War War. I was like, dude, you didn't even know.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
He was like, I didn't know, man. He was like, I was overwhelmed by shows. I was like, I would have helped you.
I know. David was really overwhelmed at one point.
At the end of last year.
I wish that he would have played that show. String Machine would have killed it. There are 3 bands this past year that I saw, actually 4, where I was just standing there and I was like, wow, I have literally never felt this way at a show ever. Like, I felt so engaged. I felt like a weird just sense of self wash over me, and like everything was good again. And that was Great Death, Queer Kevin, Mover Shaker, and Power Funeral. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The Great Death show I saw with Teenage Halloween in Detroit was probably the best show I've ever seen. Bleak Falls.
I want you to try your best to have fun without me. We both know you can do that easy, but I know I can.
So, what's the future holding for you this year? So you got an album, you're working, or an EP or something. You're working on music.
I don't know what it's gonna be. I write like maybe a song a day. It's silly. I just don't do anything. All I do is work, and I don't go to work until like 4 every single day. So I have my entire morning and afternoon to just write, and I get really high and watch Naruto. But like we've only had 1 session and we already finished 3 songs. So it's pretty cool.
Get it done.
It was really fun. It's really nice to go in, and like it's a very comfortable place. And Kevin, who is my person, I guess, that's doing everything. I'll just go. I'll like do 1 take on vocals, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's good." I'm like, "Okay, if you say so." So it kind of flies by.
Putting trust in someone else.
It's hard. It's really hard. Everything I've done is self-recorded really terribly. So
Same.
yeah, like really like literally just like putting my phone, pressing record, and just going.
That's
and, like,
where I feel the most creative, though. I feel
Yeah.
comfortable. I have this little tracked app. It was free, then it cost me $2 to get 4 more tracks. So it's 8 tracks total. And like dope heads and shit, that's all on my phone on that tracked app.
Yeah, that's so
shit.
nice.
And like but then I go to record with David, who is like my musical soul partner. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get away. I want to hide in my bathroom with my phone.
It's really hard. Producing something, not producing like in the musical term, but producing something as in like making something that I'm proud of is really hard for me. Like I have been extremely self-conscious of like, especially my guitar playing for a really long time, because I got that guy going on.
Oh.
Cause yeah, so I broke my hand and I didn't play for a really long time, And now,
That is loud.
I know. You're
Like-
like, what is that?
Well, I'm a spacey person, so
yeah.
for a second I'd be like, what do we do? Oh, that's your band.
My mobility is really limited, which is frustrating because sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to do, like, I want to create a chord that I used to be able to create, and now I can't do it anymore. And that's so incredibly frustrating to me because it makes me feel wholly inadequate. But in reality, like, everyone that makes music makes something that's so unique to them and nobody else can create. And, like, that's really special. So
Yes,
while I might be like, oh, this is fucked up, I'm doing really shitty right now, somebody else in the audience is probably like, oh, wow, I wish I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably going to sit there and watch them and be like, wow, I wish I could do that, you know?
The human brain is so silly. It's the silliest thing in the world. You hit -3 degrees and 10 degrees is like 70. We are silly creatures.
It's funny, yeah. I think especially, like, as someone who, you know, is not a dude,
Yes.
I definitely compare myself to a lot of other people who are not dudes, and we have it kind of like the bar set just a little bit higher for us, which is really rough. But I'm thankful that, you know, I have people behind me that are pushing me above that bar and really rooting for me, and that's really, really validating. It's nice.
We got a little crew in Butler in this room for you too,
Yeah.
so don't worry, buddy.
I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight.
Yes, which I say we get to it. I think I drained you.
I'm good. I feel so much better now than I did when
Again, I want to say thank you to Haley for talking to me and just making all the music that they do. They're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, putting on shows, and being a hero, being an all-star, being a DIY legend. Thanks to Alex Martin, who's another DIY legend, Jimmy Mayo himself, and everybody at War of 1812 House for letting me talk to Haley and Devin and everyone. Thank you, Emery, who took the pictures and also drove me down to that night and had a heck of a night with me that night. And I just want to say, respect the house, respect the show, respect the venue. Don't steal a musician or an artist's gear. For most artists, that's how they get through everything they're going through. Everybody suffers with different illnesses, be it physical or mental, differently. And music for a lot of people is how they get through it. So don't steal people's means of money and means of mental and spiritual health. And if you or someone you know is suffering with drug abuse or addiction of some sort, seek out help. There are things online, there are numbers you can call, there are people you can reach in every town and city in these United States. I know it's not treated like the health issue it is, but it is. And there are people out there like myself and others who will listen and be there. And if you're suffering any way, I implore you to reach out. There are hands and ears and hearts that are out there that want to listen. But again, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Please go give us a like on all those social medias and go give all the bands I talked about today all those likes and loves that we all want so badly. Hovvdy, Cool American, Bogues, Tundrastomper, and Absinthe Father. Go give them some love, and go give Sweet Stack some love, and online, go check out the website. Go like us on Facebook, Twitter, and all that, and Instagram. Give Earthwalk some love on YouTube. Spread it. Share it. If you like what you're hearing, talk about it. Again, thanks so much, guys. This has been Ian Compton saying, see you later.
No static. No static.